Hi everyone, Juni here. Today I want to do a mashup of Alita and Kingdom Hearts. I'm doing this drawing on my Procreate app on my iPad Pro. So first I'm going ahead with the bones of the figure, doing like a very light sketch so I can get my poster, my weight all set up on my form. I did look at the manga for this. I used the manga as my inspiration, as my base, as well as for some of the details so I can get them right. I'm going ahead and doing the ink part now. Let me go ahead and fast forward a bit. So what I wanted to do for the Keyblade was a tonfa design, but that didn't work, and I do change it later, and you'll see when I get there. And also the hair that I came up with here is not the hair that I really wanted, so I do go back to that later and I do change it. So while at first I was going for a chakram design for the Keyblade, later I changed it to more of a tonfa design, and then later again I changed it to a more like a one of those old keys that has the round tip. So that's kind of what I went with in the end, and I wanted to do like, and what I went with in the end was a Damascus blade inspired Keyblade. That's what I'm trying to do here with the blade at the end, trying to get the design from the Damascus blade, at least in how it is in the manga, more or less, not so much how it is in the film. I kind of didn't like the design on the film for the Damascus blade, but that's neither here nor there. So next I touched on the design of the outfit and her clothing. So basically I was trying to go for a very Nomura clothing style, which is like, you know, loud, lots of buckles, lots of zippers everywhere. And but I also had to maintain somewhat of an Alita aesthetic to it. So I did like leather, and I kept her kneecap shields, and I did kept it like black leather mostly. And I do add lots of belts on her boots, and I did the big shoes, like, you know, Kingdom Hearts. Like, it's like the staple of the look. And I gave her little gloves with markers on the end, and I kept her arms exposed so you could see the mechanism, so that you don't forget that she is a cyborg and her body is a mechanic. I added the two flail parts of the vest. So sometimes I forget how to words, so yeah, forgive me. And I also drew arrows on top of her feet, just because she's a very kinetic and acrobatic fighter, so I wanted the arrows to like play with her kicking, you know, like so that when she's kicking, you see the arrows in the direction that the kick is gonna go, and also so you could see like the flails from the vest flapping around as she spins and kicks and uses the Keyblade. So then I moved on to the hair again, and I made it on a separate layer, so that allowed me to go back to it and delete it and start again fresh. And I tried to go for like a more shaggy hair with a little bob from like kind of like for the look that she has on the manga at the very beginning, which is kind of the look that I love from Alita. But I hated it, so I erased it, and I went for a more sleek design and slightly shorter hair from like the look that she has on Last Order Battle Angel, but I did make it longer and more stylized, so if it's the whole Kingdom Hearts thing. And yeah, I went ahead and filled it in with ink, and this is the look that I ended up loving, so I kept it. So now with the design finalized, I went ahead and filled in the body with gray, and I put that on a block transparency layer, so that when I draw and paint over it my values or colors, I don't have to worry about going outside of the design, because I'm OCD that way, and it keeps you from making a mess later down the line and figuring out what is on what layer. So if you do that, you just make like a gray for the outline of the character, and then lock your transparency. You avoid being messy, which is one of my pet peeves. but it does keep you from like going for a more fluid painting style. So if you like that, then do that instead. It's just, you know, to each his own. Everybody works differently. This is kind of what I do, at least for like comic books designs, which is kind of what I like to do anyway. This is what I do, and if that doesn't work for you, that's fine. It works for me, and we're all learning, so whatever. So now over that gray layer, I start to working in my values. I try to just keep it from a darker gray to a lighter gray, never go full white, because then what I do is I overlay the color on top of it, so that I get that value. But that does give you like a tint of gray on your color, so keep that in mind. If you want to do, you know, brighter stuff, you have to like draw on top of that as well. So there's that. But it is a very quick way to do values with color. But there are other ways of doing this, so my way is not the way, it's just a way. So now with my tone set up, I start with the coloring. Like I mentioned earlier, I went ahead and do a separate layer. If you want to, you can copy, duplicate the layer with your grays, and then just draw over that with just the flat color, and forget about the tones that you did, and just go ahead and draw for the line work, like fill in your colors. And then you set that layer to overlay, and you get a very quick color already with the tones baked in. Just remember that you have that gray tint underneath. And I went ahead and did the same thing for the Keyblade, which is also in a separate layer. And now with my colors done, I went ahead and add some highlights, some shininess to it, because she is a cyborg, and I want to do some highlights on the Keyblade and on her eyes and on her hair, and some scatter on the clothing. And now for the background, I'm going ahead and filling in a keyhole, and then within that keyhole I'm doing a Salem inside with a red sky, mostly so I can use like the Kingdom Hearts motif, you know, keyblades and keys and keyholes and worlds. So this keyhole, you can see her world, which is Salem, and the scrapyard. And then we're done, and this is the final design. And if you like this design, I'll invite you to come check out my store at TeePublic. There's also one on Redbubble, and on both of them you can find this design on t-shirts, as well as other designs that I've done from Alita. And this is just for me as trying to get like a second type of income, trying to get some money for my artwork. And if you like the design, you can get it there on whatever type of t-shirt you want, whatever size, whatever color background. And I did do some variants of this design, so if you don't like the pose that is here, you can get it with a different pose with a Keyblade or just your face, that kind of thing. So thank you for watching this. If you made it this far, if you like the kind of stuff that I do, please subscribe, share it with your friends. Let me know if you like to see any other kind of design or mashup, and if I'm into it, I'll get into it and I'll do it. Thank you so much, and bye for now.